You know how I should start this video out? With your reaction to when Joy first mentioned this, and then just 3 weeks later.
Let me film you doing this. Here. Oh, me.
To try to figure out, like, you can tell, theoretically, you can tell male and female. So I need to pull that out, but that might help us figure out, like,
Really?
Have you ever heard that? It's almost like well water. It's a thing.
Really? Okay.
It's a thing. I don't know what the science is
Male
of it.
skeleton versus female skeleton.
I know,
okay.
right?
You're going to edit this, right?
I'm leaving this in.
No,
Because
seriously.
your face was funny.
Like, it is so, it sounds like it's pulling your leg, but there are some people who, like, swear by it.
No,
Swear by it. They can do it with coat hangers, and anybody can do it. And you know, you test it over the graves that you know, so you can say, oh, is it getting it right? And then the accuracy is like 80 to 90%.
I have seen that. I actually had someone who I talked to a long time ago who owned a cemetery, had relatives buried at a cemetery I went to. He did the dividing rods and said that when it would like cross over if it was male or
and one
then
direction
open.
if it's a female or something.
And then
That's interesting.
they
They've
swore
had it
by
done.
it.
I just haven't seen the outcome of it. Now that we know actually a little bit more, we could kind of match it up and say, okay,
I would like to.
is that why? Is it a different? The X chromosome in the sand creates a different. I mean, truly, you think about it, like the soil makeup is now different in this, like where the graves are versus, you know.
That's
Because
true.
there's like different compounds.
But for the rest of it, I loved your face, Dan. I have to say when she said that.
Oh, I got to admit, I've never heard that.
You've never heard that.
I've
You
heard,
are in the business of hearing that
well,
kind of story all the time.
I've heard of finding unmarked graves that way. I
Oh.
really have, but I've never heard of male, female.
Yeah.
no,
This
it's
is a guy buried here.
it's a real thing.
They
I
say-
promise you.
They say that they
Oh.
can do it. So on this adventure into history, Dan and I are on a scientific experiment, pseudoscience. A few videos back, there was mention of using dowsing rods to not only find unmarked graves, but also allegedly to be able to tell whether the graves were male or female. Well, we happen to have a set of dowsing rods here, and Dan had a wonderful reaction when he first heard about this. I have never believed that this would work, but I'm willing to give it a try. Dan has the instructions on his phone on how you're supposed to do this. So what are we supposed to do, Dan?
Let me pull the instructions up.
Oh, sorry.
It says,
I sent these instructions to Dan, by the way.
it says the basic technique is to hold the rods loosely and parallel to each other and to the ground. Walk slowly, and as soon as you get to where something is buried in the ground, the rods will cross. They will uncross as soon as you get away from the body.
Okay, so they cross over the body, uncross.
It doesn't say anything about the male and female thing.
That's the next page.
Oh, the next page, okay. All right, dowsers often consider the second test foolproof. Balance the handle of one of the rods on your forefinger while standing over a grave. The rod will begin circling clockwise for a male and counterclockwise for a female. It is said this technique is 95% accurate on graves that were later exhumed. And did you write that, or did you get that off the internet?
I got that off the internet.
Okay.
It was actually from a newspaper article.
If it's on the internet, it's got to be true.
That's right. That's it. Let me see.
Okay, well, let's see if it works.
This is like Mythbusters. You can viewpoint it that way. Because I feel pretty silly doing this, because I don't believe this will work. But we're going to try it. So, this is my first time doing this. So you hold them parallel to each other and to the ground.
That's what it says.
It's not doing parallel at the moment, but it's uncrossed. So I'm about to walk over the grave of... I'm about to walk over a grave, and in theory it should cross. So they hit each other, but...
How close are you supposed to hold them together?
I don't know. Sorry, it's crossed over a grave.
I guess close enough that they can cross one another.
Let's do that again. You do it, Dan.
No, that's okay. I'll film you doing it. Because,
oh wait, look, it just uncrossed.
Well, it didn't say stand there. It just said walk over it.
Well, it said when you leave the grave. Why is it pointing that way? It's weird. It's almost like the tip of it's weird.
Now, was it supposed to cross for male or female?
No, it spins. You're supposed to balance it on your forefinger.
Oh.
And then it's...
Oh, you're doing the other one.
Yeah, I was just seeing it.
Oh, you're doing the is there a grave here
I was doing the is there a grave there.
Yeah, there's a grave right there.
So in this one, you're supposed to balance it on your finger, and it'll begin to spin. And it spins in one direction for a male and one direction for a female. But it stopped spinning. I mean, it's surely spinning, but I'm not standing over anything. It's not even doing anything. Balancing it. Spinning in both directions. Maybe if you get closer to the ground, it can tell. It's spinning in both directions. How would you ever know? Okay.
Maybe 4 out of 5.
That's right. All right, so I'm going to tell you, I already don't believe in that one at all. All right, I'm going to close my eyes. I don't remember which one was which, though. I'm close my eyes so I don't know what grave this is. I haven't read it. I haven't looked at it. Let's see, we'll get down closer to it. If I just hold it here.
So that's spinning counterclockwise.
Okay, it's spinning counterclockwise, and now it's spinning clockwise. Now it's not doing nothing. I don't know. That was a male grave, by the way. That's crossed over the grave. It can't help itself. There's graves really close to each other here.
I think that may be part of the problem. The graves are too close together.
Yeah, that's true. So in theory, it should cross over when we walk over this grave. Step off the grave, it should uncross. What if I just walk right here? Of course, we don't know if there's a grave there or not. According to this, there's a grave there.
It could be.
Did you just hear voices? Alright. One more time, we'll see if this spins which way. That's a clockwise spin,
clockwise.
Right? So this is also a man.
Yeah.
So it spun counterclockwise and clockwise on the last fella. This is a woman's grave, so it should spin counterclockwise. But it's not doing nothing. Now it's spinning clockwise. What do you say, Dan? You think this myth is busted? We only tried it a couple times.
I think we need to try it somewhere that's, I don't know, a little bit more even.
Okay.
The ground is unlevel here. It's hard to stand up straight because the ground is so unlevel. I don't know. It's up to you.
We'll try it somewhere else. But next time, you gonna try it?
No, you try it.
I tricked Dan into doing it. The problem is with Dan is he knows where every grave is out here. He knows who everyone is, so it's not a true blind test. I think it worked better at the other cemetery.
Yeah. All right, are you supposed to start out with them like this?
Maybe.
What?
They just always kind of do their own thing.
Yeah, it seems that way. So, you walk slowly. Now, I just passed over what I know was, now that one just kind of took a turn on its own.
So you just passed over what you know is an unmarked grave?
Yeah.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Dan knows where every grave is in the cemetery.
I'm going by memory, though. I was here when they were buried. No. I was here when the ground penetrating radar was done, so I know. I've kind of got the map memorized. And also, this is the Bedell lot. This was when William Thomason, he was the founder of one of the founders of Waverly Hall, and he named the town. But when he sold this piece of property here for the
William Osborne?
William Osborne. What did I say? William Thomason?
Yeah.
I got William Thomason on my mind.
Yeah.
But anyway, William Osborne, when he sold this piece of property to the Methodist Church to build a church on down there, he came up and picked out the choice plot here for himself.
Oh.
And that being this is the most level, and I mean this is the choice of every plot up here, right here. Well, the only people buried here was his stepson and his stepson's daughter. His stepson was Absalom Bedell, and he died and was buried up here unmarked, along with all of his family members. But William was buried later in Linwood Cemetery in Columbus.
Okay. I was going to ask because I realized I'd never seen his grave.
But he never used this lot, and the only marked grave on it is this one and those two over there, and that is his. That is William Osborne's step granddaughter and her husband, who owned the stagecoach line through here.
Gotcha.
Mr. Evans lived at Pleasant Hill in Talbot County.
Why did William Osborne leave Waverly Hall?
He left here because the county seat, when the county was divided up and it was moved to Hamilton, he went where all the business was. He was a strict businessman, and he took all of his investments to Hamilton, Georgia, which is 12 miles from here. And he built a big hotel there and became very wealthy and became a land investor all over this part of Georgia and some of Alabama. And then he lived through the Civil War and died in 1868, and is buried in Linwood Cemetery in Columbus in an unmarked grave.
On an unmarked grave.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So what does that mean?
I don't know what that one means.
But really, I think that if you believe in this sort of thing, and a lot of people do, I think that it is something that takes practice. I don't think it's something you just pick up and go out and say, "Oh, this is
for
how
sure.
you do it." No,
I can appreciate that.
Because I do know people who would find water this way, and they had a lot of experience in it.
Do you want to go look for water?
Yeah. I don't think I could walk across water. There is a spring right down there.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's two graves right here. Now, how is it supposed to detect male from female? Or?
Well, I saw that it would, you can spin it on your finger, but that one is got, the rod actually goes all the way through.
Oh, it goes all the way through.
Yeah, so maybe you just have to hold it over it.
Yeah.
And also it's supposed to point at the head for a male and the foot of the female, something like that. So if you use just one, it should point in a certain direction for a female and a certain direction for a male, I think.
All right, that points at the foot of her grave.
Okay.
I don't know. I give up.
All right, here, I'll give it another shot. All right.
Walk over the graves of the family down there.
Oh yeah, the tornado victims.
Yeah.
So these people, this is the Kennan family here that we're about to walk across, who were killed in the tornado, what year was it?
1875.
Killed in the tornado of 1875, and their headstones are the corner of box graves, or false crypts, as we call them. Did these pieces come from the Ridgeway Cemetery?
They did.
So the tornado destroyed the Ridgeway Cemetery, and they salvaged some pieces to mark the graves of the Kennan family. 7 members of family killed by a storm in 1875 is what the headstone says. You know, I don't, as I said in the beginning of the video, I don't believe necessarily in this sort of thing. I'm not insulting or meaning to insult anybody that does. I just personally choose not to. But the idea interests me enough to try it and see if it will work for me. And I don't think it does. I don't think it works for me, even with all manner of. It's weird because sometimes it feels like they pull in different directions by themselves, but they're not doing what they're supposed to do if you can find an unmarked grave. I got to stop for just a minute because look at the way that this stone is not cracked. That is crazy right there. Look at that. It's not broken. It's curved
bent
inward. Yeah, it's bent.
Well, there's another one over the hill there that's bent even worse than that one. Have you ever seen it?
I don't think I have.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I think there's 2 of them over there that on the Willis plot that have really bent.
And it's not, I mean, it wasn't like this originally, right?
No. Oh no,
yeah,
no.
It would have been just
This is done over a period of time. Marble, you wouldn't think that marble is flexible, but
yeah,
it will bend if it's not supported properly.
That's interesting.
Most of the people that you see doing it have had a lot of practice doing it.
For sure.
And you know, it takes practice just to hold one of those things level to where it won't spin round and round.
It does.
So
I'm holding it like this, so I'll make sure I don't touch the top or bottom of it. It's just in the copper bushing. Right. Am I holding them parallel and level to the ground and all that?
You appear to be.
Alright. I should cross over the grave. They really do seem like they move on their own here. But you know, each of your little tremors that you make, uncontrollable. And it wants to go this way. Crossed over the grave. Walk away from the grave and see if it just uncrosses.
All right, now you won't find a more level spot than this right here. This used to be a big rock wall that was removed, so there's a family buried in here.
Is it?
Supposedly, yes. So if you start at one end and walk north to south, maybe.
Why don't I start at the other end?
Start at the southern end and walk north. I don't know if you can tell it from the camera, but that's a good level spot and unmarked graves.
Do these only work on marked graves?
Should.
You gotta walk south to north.
Maybe you have to hold them with your full fist instead of through your fingers like that. Because is it channeling the energy through you or through the just?
That's not me. I don't want any energy channeled through me, Dan. All right.
Maybe you have to have all your fingers around those.
Full fist. Okay.
Yeah.
Now it works. It's already found one.
Oh, you can tell. You can feel it.
Yeah, I can
See, practice.
practice. Okay. All right. It's touching me. All right, so it would say that there's a grave there, I guess. And it should open when I get off of the supposed graves. Still walking on the grave. Maybe these ones don't work. Maybe they got a defective set. The wind's blowing. Did I turn them on?
Did you forget to turn them on?
I forgot to turn them on. There's a pin right there.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Ground penetrating radar has already been done here, so according to that, there is an unmarked grave right there at your feet.
Is the pin at the head or the foot?
It's supposed to be right in the middle of the grave.
Oh. So we should be... I don't know.
Step back and walk over it again and see what it does.
You ain't done it, Dan?
Well, there's some unmarked graves right over here. So
It's pointing at me. Why is it pointing at me? Alright, so the unmarked grave is here, so and it's crossed, okay.
Yeah.
And so when I get to the other end of the grave, it should uncross, right? I don't know what I'm doing wrong here. Is it because I said I don't believe that this works? Is it one of those things where you have to, you know...
walk over this corner right here.
Okay.
supposed to be two very substantial unmarked graves right there.
Oh, really?
Benjamin Lowe and his wife. And they were supposedly put in steel caskets when they were buried.
Oh, really?
Back in the old days.
Right here?
Yeah.
Well, it ain't doing nothing, Dan. Maybe this one's the left one and this one's the right one.
Maybe so.
Oh, that's the problem. All right, it's gonna work now. It ain't working, Dan. Martha Morse.
Maybe they need calibrating.
Yeah, they might. Do you know how to do it?
I'm afraid not.
Oh, James Livingston. All right, well, that's been our myth-busting experiment with the witching rods here. So if this video makes it to YouTube, you'll have to comment and tell us what we're doing wrong on this video. And then everybody will have to comment for us to try it again, so I can come out and make Dan do it again and film him doing it.
That's okay.